Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 action steps you can take to balance your hormones naturally for clearer skin. Because I have a feeling you have recently come off the birth control pill, anytime over the past 3, 6, 9, 12 months, right? And your acne has gotten increasingly worse every month, and you've been offered the birth control pill again, Accutane, spironolactone, etc. But you really don't want to go back on these band-aid fixes because you know they're not addressing the root of the issue. Am I right? Let's discuss the 10 action steps you can take to balance your hormones naturally for clearer skin. Lego. Hi there, my name is Therese, and after 15 years of acne struggles, I finally cleared my skin naturally, and I created my acne clearing program, the Clear Code, to help you do the same. 10 years and thousands of clients later, I've made it my life's work to get you clear skin without harsh chemicals, pills, and/or creams, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. This is gonna be an intense video, so get ready. There are two main themes around balancing your hormones naturally for clearer skin, and they are detoxification and consistency. Let's discuss. There are three main detoxification pathways that impact your acne tremendously that none of us were taught about, so I'm here today to tell you about them. And those three main pathways are our liver, our gut, and our lymph nodes. Okay, those are the three. The four themes for consistency that impact balanced hormones are your meal routine, like blood sugar management stuff, number one. Number two is your sleeping, waking schedule. Number three is your working out, physical activity schedule. And then number four is stress management. I'm gonna talk about the 10 action steps that impact all 7 of those factors, and we'll go from there. Let's discuss detoxification first. It's one of my favorite themes from an acne clearing perspective because it is so impactful and also something that I feel like impacts every aspect of our life, but we are all just chronically undereducated about this. If you've been on the birth control pill for an extended period of time, anything more than 3 months, to be honest, and let's be clear, most of us are often on it for 10 years, a decade, you are most likely going to be struggling with estrogen detoxification issues. A lot of what happens when you're on the pill for an extended period of time is your liver just isn't able to do the work that it needs to do because it's working so hard to process these synthetic hormones out. And what happens is it becomes a little sluggish, and/or you're retaining and/or you're not able to detoxify out hormones properly. Our liver has 3 phases of detoxification, and I have a whole video about liver and your acne, liver detoxification, your acne. I'll share it here. The phases of the liver that impact our acne clearing process the most are phase 1 and phase 2. And what happens is, because our liver plays a vital role in detoxification and hormone regulation, it can become overloaded with toxins, and then we're not capable of getting rid of the bad stuff. Now, there's so many different ways to address this. And that being said, I have found the most helpful, the most pragmatic, sustainable, effective, and also helpful for you from a longevity perspective have to do with bitter herbs in general. And here's what I mean by that. Number 1 action step that you can take to start to balance your hormones naturally for clearer skin is to explore a bitter herb like number 1, dandelion tea, number 2, milk thistle, or number 3, consider consuming more cruciferous vegetables every day. Milk thistle and dandelion tea, action steps 1 and 2, are both bitter herbs. I've said that 42 times, I'm more. They support bile flow from your liver. And what that means is it encourages bile flow, which helps get rid of excess hormones, any toxins, chemicals. We're constantly taking in negative and bad stuff from our environment all the time. And our liver is constantly working to get rid of those babies. Those herbs are the best for doing this. My favorite, and the one I still use to this day, I was looking for my dandelion tea bag, it's around here somewhere, is dandelion tea. I recommend this to the majority of my clients who struggle with estrogen dominance. So they break out mid-cycle or pre-period because it supports that bile flow, it helps them go to the bathroom more regularly, and it can positively impact acne, especially here, hormonal acne, etc. Just overall, you'll go to the bathroom more regularly. Type yes below in the comments if you struggle with constant and/or intermittent constipation post the birth control pill, because that relates back to this challenge. If and when you're constipated, we're going to talk more about that in a second, but you're retaining things that you shouldn't, and dandelion tea or milk thistle are my favorite. Cruciferous vegetables are another way to support healthy liver detoxification in the same theme of both the bitter herbs I just mentioned. Common cruciferous vegetables are things like Brussels sprouts, kale, broccoli, bok choy, arugula. My easiest recommendation for you from a cruciferous vegetables perspective, because I feel like sometimes when we hear about eating a lot of things or we hear about adjusting our diet, it can be overwhelming, right? It's like cruciferous vegetables. time. It gets overwhelming. I live there with you, don't worry. I'm chronically overwhelmed. But the simplest way you can start to consume more cruciferous vegetables daily is by buying a big package of arugula and a head of cabbage and a head of broccoli at the beginning of every week. And then for lunch every day, grab a big old handful of arugula, put it to the side of whatever you're eating. Literally, it could be anything you're eating. Just add a big old handful, like a cup and a half, drizzle it with olive oil, lemon juice, done. And then at night, grab a cup or two of your broccoli, a cup or two of your cauliflower, cut them up, roast them at 325, add a little salt, a little pepper, done. It's the easiest way to get in your cruciferous vegetables. You don't have to do that much. It's not like you have to cook a vegan meal. Like, it does not have to be overwhelming for you, okay? Now, let's talk about detoxification from a gut health perspective, which is something I talk about all the time in like 42 of my videos. If you've been on the birth control pill for an extended period of time and you've recently come off and you notice some gut stuff, there's a high chance you're dealing with a few things. Number one, gut dysbiosis. Number two, nutritional deficiencies. And or three, kind of a side note that we're going to talk about in a second, are blood sugar management challenges. I'm going to focus on the first two. That being said, number one, gut dysbiosis has been shown in women who have been on the birth control pill for a long time. What that means, broadly speaking, and I'll link to studies below, is that you're going to have the improper balance of bacteria in your gut. You're not going to have the right types. So ideally, we have a big mix from here to the other end. You know what I'm saying? And it's about 3 pounds worth, and it supports us. It actually kills bad things. We need bacteria in our gut. Like, really, we need it. And what happens when you're on the pill is you can be deficient in certain strains of bacteria. I know it's kind of gross, but like we'll have lactobacillus acidophilus or bifidobacterium. Those are all really important strains of bacteria to have in our gut, and we'll be chronically deficient in those post the birth control pill, which then leads us to potential nutrient deficiencies. When you don't have the right type of bacteria in your gut, you're not able to process food correctly. You might not be able to absorb food correctly. You might not be able to get rid of food correctly. And or you're eating vitamins and minerals, but you're not necessarily able to absorb them efficiently and then assimilate them into your body the way that you'd like. Acne strugglers, all of us, right, are constantly struggling with vitamin A, zinc, magnesium, common B vitamins. Those are chronic deficiencies that a lot of people with acne struggle with as a result of just being on the pill for an extended period of time. So I've got 4 more action steps that we can take to help support balancing of your hormones to clear acne naturally. And they are these 4. Number 4, begin a quality probiotic with 10 billion organisms or more, lactobacillus acidophilus, and bifidobacterium. You will go to the bathroom like you've never seen. I'm kidding, but I'm not. Number 2, grab kombucha 2 to 3 times a week. Chef's kiss. Again, it has a lot of quality probiotics, and it's really important that we get those. We're all pretty chronically low in those, especially if we eat a lot of processed food. It's like there's no healthy bacteria in it. Number 6 is to grab sauerkraut, okay? Sauerkraut is one of my favorites. You could do sauerkraut or kimchi. I like sauerkraut personally. It has a ton of live bacterial cultures, and it's a really good way too, as well, to get that in without like having to take a pill, even though probiotics, I don't really consider them pills, to be honest. Or a side note, you could grab a non-dairy yogurt every day. Anything that has live active cultures in it, again, always chat with your doctor, but anything that has live active cultures in it, it's gonna be good for your gut health. The 7th action step you can take to start to balance your hormones naturally to support clear skin is gonna be simple, and it's gonna go against what the most of the internet is telling you, which is to have a variety of fruits and vegetables. Aim for like 8 to 10 a week. I know. You were like, how the am I gonna get 8 to 10 vegetables in a week? Here's the thing, from a gut health perspective, our gut thrives on diversity. If you're eating the same exact foods every day, every week, every month, it is not good for your gut. You need blueberries one week, strawberries the next, arugula one week, cabbage the next. You need a variety of foods to encourage just general movement. You want things constantly going in. You know, ideally from a digestion detoxification perspective, we eat healthy, nutritious foods with a ton of vitamins and minerals. It tastes good. We like it. It makes our stomach feel full, but not bloated. Our body takes in all the nutrients. It takes the vitamins, the minerals, everything it needs. And then it gets rid of the bad stuff. It gets rid of fiber. You know what I mean? You go to the bathroom and that's as a result of consuming fiber. It gets rid of toxic waste that your body creates as a result of processing food. That's ideal. And so the more variety you have in your diet from a fruits and vegetables perspective, the more that process I outlined is chef's kiss. I think that was like my 4th chef's kiss for this video, but it's okay. I feel like you're all right with it. Now let's discuss detoxification from a lymph node perspective, okay? We all have lymph nodes, and they're very important. Our lymph nodes help us process out, again, toxins, waste, excess salt, or things that we don't need. And our lymph nodes, they all exist here, right? They're here, they're down in our groin. And sweat is the way that our lymph nodes really get to do the work that they're here to do. And if and when you're not sweating, really ever, your lymph nodes aren't getting to do the work that they would ideally love to do. I had this nutrition professor, I talk about this all the time. I don't know why, I just loved this analogy. He said, lymph nodes are like a pump without a handle. By that he meant they have all this stuff that you need to like pump out, but if you don't sweat, if you don't work out, even just sitting in a steam like a sauna can be so helpful. If you don't do that, you get into this position where you're not able to process out the things that your body wants to. Sweating is good. If you can sweat for like 10 minutes a day, or even just get to the point where you're walking briskly and you feel like that sweat, golden. So those are the main themes for detoxification that I want to talk about as it relates to balancing your hormones, detoxification. Now let's discuss consistency, which I will guarantee you is far more difficult, but also very rewarding. And I will guarantee you as well that you have more trouble with these action steps because I myself do. And it's a human thing, but it's okay. We're gonna do it. Consistency, as it relates to specific aspects of your life, can be incredibly powerful to balance your hormones for clearer skin. Here are 4 areas that really matter when it comes to balancing your hormones and impacting clearer skin. Number 1, we have meal prep and/or blood sugar management. By that I mean, if and when you aren't eating in a way that supports managed blood sugar levels throughout the day. So you're skipping breakfast, having pizza for lunch, pasta for dinner, no protein, a lot of caffeine. What you're doing is you're spiking your blood sugar up and then you're dropping it, and you're spiking it and you're dropping it, which can lead to increases in insulin in your body. It's a hormone that responds to blood sugar, which can then lead to insulin growth factor 1, which can then lead to inflammation at the pore. Balanced blood sugar is chef's kiss, sorry, is the key to beginning to impact your hormonal acne. I get this question probably every day now, or people say to me, well, wait, I have hormonal acne. How does balancing my blood sugar impact it? I have a whole video about blood sugar in your acne. I'll share it here. That being said, the more you focus on having steady action steps throughout the day to support balanced blood sugar, I'll guarantee you, you will have less inflamed acne. The more mismanaged your blood sugar is, the more exacerbated and inflamed your hormonal acne is. I know it's annoying, but it's real. The second action step you can take as it relates to consistency is to define a sleep and wake schedule that you can follow 6-ish days a week that is best for you. I, for example, am a morning gal. I am a morning gal to my soul, okay? I wake up at around 5 to 6, but I'm sleepy at like 9 to 10. Like, I'm done. Other people are happy up until 1 a.m. and then they like to sleep until 8 or 9 a.m. It is really up to you what is best for your circadian rhythm, but one of the worst things you can do for your hormonal acne is to go to bed at 8 p.m. on a Monday, wake up at 4 a.m. or something, and then the next day go to bed at 3 a.m., wake up at 12 p.m. The next day, the reverse. It's one of the worst things you can do for your hormonal acne is to have really bad sleeping schedules. You want to define that. The third factor as it relates to consistency is defining your ideal workout routine. It kind of goes back to what I just said. The more consistently you work out, the better your whole body feels. It does not have to be a marathon training session. Last night was a perfect example. I was absolutely exhausted, but I hadn't gone to the gym in about 3 days, and that's usually my max. I start losing it a little bit. Like, going to the gym is good for my mental health. And I said, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna lift weights slowly for about 20 to 30 minutes. And it really worked. It helped me sleep well. It was a great action step for me. And knowing what is best for your body is important too. If you hate running, don't commit yourself to train for a marathon. If you love yoga, do that 5 times a week. But having that will be very balancing for your hormones, which brings me to the final aspect of consistency, and that's stress management, which really links to all the other 2, 3 that I just mentioned. If and when your stress is not under control, and again, pot calling the kettle black here. if and when your stress is not under control, you run the risk of having a big increase in stress hormones like cortisol, epinephrine, adrenaline, which directly impacts sebum activity at the pore, which directly impacts your acne. And all of those things I just mentioned as well, having too much sugar or not eating in a normal, or I shouldn't say normal, but not eating in a routine, not sleeping in a routine, not working out in a routine, is very physiologically stressful for your body. It likes to know when it's going to bed and when it's waking up. It likes to know when it's going to eat. It likes to know if and when it's going to work out to get out some of the stress that we all feel in our daily lives. And if and when it doesn't know those things, it increases your stress response, which increases oil levels at the pore, which increases acne. So let's discuss the final 3 action steps you can take to start to balance your hormones naturally to support clearer skin. The final 3 are number 7, having a healthy protein and a healthy fat with each meal. No excuses. If you have a bagel and an orange juice for breakfast, pasta for lunch and pizza for dinner, you've truly only just consumed glucose and your body is screaming for protein. It's screaming for protein for many reasons, but one of them is blood sugar management and stability. Have an egg, have an avocado, even if you're gonna have toast, let's say you're like, I need my toast in the morning. I feel like a lot of people are like that. Smother that baby in almond butter, okay? Smother it. You want a healthy fat, otherwise you're gonna skyrocket your blood sugar up, and then in 2-ish hours later, it's gonna dip down and you're gonna be right back where you started. The 9th action step, that last one was the 8th, is to define your ideal sleep and working out schedule and stick to it. And again, like I mentioned, everyone is different. You have to define the best sleep and waking and working out schedule for you. That really comes down to you asking yourself questions. When is your best? When do you think the best? When do you feel like you're all thinked out? I know that's not a word. Thought out. When do you feel like you have the most energy? When do you feel like you feel too hyper or jacked up? Defining all of that is a personal question, so maybe ask yourself those questions and it'll start to lead you down the best path. The 10th action step you can take to start to balance your hormones naturally for clear skin is to truly define how to manage your stress better. I say that as a chronically stressed person. Okay. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard. I am not gonna lie to you, managing stress is hard. I think the first thing you can start with, if and when you're in a place where you feel like, I am so stressed out I can't think straight, or I am so stressed out and it's really starting to negatively impact the quality of my life. Let's say you're there right now. I think the most helpful question you can start to ask yourself is, the next time you feel peace or calm or relaxed, what happened the day or two prior to that? What conditions, what action steps led up to that peaceful feeling? What did you do? How did you work out? Did you work out? What did you eat? Who are you with? How much did you sleep? When did you go to sleep? What did you eat? Where are you in your cycle? Start to just ask yourself questions around how you're feeling. Because more than anything, I have found, I've worked with so many clients, everyone deals with stress. And I can't tell you how to manage your stress. You and I are different people. I can only give you the tools that I've used, which are, I've really gone into my life and said, when do I feel peace? Why? What time of the day do I feel the most peace? What foods or drinks or caffeine, what levels of those things make me feel less peace and make me feel stressed out? I've really just asked myself a lot of questions. I can't drink cold brew anymore. I've given it up, for example. I usually need to walk about 10,000 steps a day to feel normal. I have to usually work out 5 to 6 days a week, again, to feel normal. What else? I really like reading instead of watching TV sometimes. I am very good at pushing past, for example, like my limits in terms of sleep, and that's the stupidest thing I can ever do. So these are the things that help me. Okay, so now let's go over those 10 action steps that we can take to clear our acne naturally by balancing our hormones. Number 1, we're gonna check out cruciferous vegetables, dandelion tea, milk thistle, probiotics, kombucha, sauerkraut, 10 plus fruits and veggies a week. And then we're also going to focus on a healthy protein or fat in every meal, defining our ideal sleep and working out schedule, and defining how we're going to manage our stress the best. That being said, if you've been struggling with your acne for a while and you want someone to help you, you want to know why you're breaking out in the first place because you're tired of Googling, you want someone to tell you exactly what to do to clear your acne naturally, and then you also want to know the Clear Skin lifestyle plan you can have for life to keep your skin clear, I would love to see if we could help you in my natural acne clearing program, the Clear Code. Click the link below to apply. We do everything I just shared. We define your root acne triggers, define a customized plan to clear your acne naturally, and then we put it in place and watch your skin clear over time. So if you're interested, I would love to see if we could help you. Apply for that below. Also, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and if you know anyone who would benefit from this video, or if you know anyone who would love everything I shared, please send this over to them. I would love to be this like spark for them, to help them know that you can clear your acne naturally, to let them know that that's a real thing for them. And I would love to be that person for them. So I'll see you in the next one.